Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jesse Boat from the 19th hole, and it is Tuesday, so you all know that means it is tournament announcement time here. And this is a regular tournament, not a miniature tournament. And the format that they chose to use this time is taking two courses and combine it into one for this tournament, which is going to be the Fuji Open Tournament, and it will start on June 24th. So basically, we have the Sakura Hills and Gokasho Bay, and they took 4 holes from one and 5 holes from the other, combined them into one course for this tournament. They did not make any announcements as far as making any kind of changes to the holes, but you never know. They're usually sometimes they're kind of sneaky about that kind of stuff, and we can't just expect for it to be the same as it always is. So I would definitely count on definitely some at least some landscaping changes to these holes, but that is all just speculation. So let's go ahead and get into the tournament here real quick. As always, for those that are maybe new to the tournaments, we will go through this initial explanation real quickly here. You got 4 different divisions. You got rookie, pro, expert, and masters. And basically, depending on what weekly league you are in, that is what decides that you can play. So if you're in expert weekly league, that means you can enter an expert, pro, or rookie tournament. But do keep in mind your competition will always be structured to whatever your highest achieved weekly ranking has been. So if you become an expert weekly, then you will be matching with expert weekly players. So you can play rookie, but you'll be playing rookie with other expert weekly players. I think a lot of people never understand that, but that is how it goes in Golf Clash. So you're not going to be, if you play rookie, you're not going to be playing against other rookies. You will be playing against people that have your same, somewhat same level of clubs and experience. But you also have the Masters division, which is the highest division. I do want to make mention, though, that depending on what division you play in, that will definitely determine the type of chests that you can win during playing the tournament. So if you play in the rookie, you win tour 3 chests. If you play in the pro, you can win tour 6 chests. If you play in expert, you win tour 9 chests, and in the masters, you get tour 12 chests. And these are like regular tour level chests, except they are a little bit better in the tournament. You have a few extra club cards in each chest compared to just regular tour play. So definitely keep that in mind when you are choosing which division you want to play in. You do want to play in the division that gives you the best chance to be competitive, but you also want to be productive as far as your return and your investment as well. So if you have clubs that aren't going to benefit from playing in the rookie, then it may be time to move up to the pro or the expert level, where you do open yourself up to receiving better clubs and more club cards to help yourself grow as a player, and definitely your clubs grow as well. So this is the rules for each division. Each division has different rule sets. The rookies play from the front tee, the pro and the expert play from the middle tee, and then masters level play from the third tee. And that's always the same each tournament. The wind levels do kind of go up and down depending on what division you're going to play in. As you see, rookie 3 to 6 mile an hour wind, and then you look at the masters level, you got 16 to 19 miles an hour wind. So the winds does go up quite a bit depending on which of the divisions that you do play. Needle speed increases do go up as well. Rookies have a +6 needle speed increase, and if you play in the masters level, it's +50%. So a 50% extra needle speed increase in the masters level division. So if you are someone that plays a lot of the divisions over multiple accounts, it could definitely get interesting, because you got to adjust your mind to each division and the needle speed play in there. So sometimes a little bit of an adjustment process takes place in when you're moving around from the division to division. So that's the rules. The only other really major rule that is in here would be the hidden spin rule, which basically means all spins are hidden. They blur out the spin, you can't see the ball guide, but that is only applicable in the expert and the masters level. So if you're in rookie or pro, you don't have to worry about it. You will be able to see your opponent's spins and their ball guide. This is the course that we will be playing here, holes 1 through 9. We got the par 3 to start us off here with Sakura Hills. And then we get into the Gokasho Bay holes in hole 3, 4, and 5. We go back to Sakura Hills for 6 and 7. 8 goes back to the Gokasho Bay, and then we finish off Sakura Hills with hole number 9. And this hole right here is the hole that was scheduled to be in a tournament here not too long ago, and then if you remember, middle of the week, it just disappeared and they replaced it with a different hole. So I found that kind of interesting that they did put this hole back in their tournament, and I don't know, fingers crossed that they don't pull a switcheroo on us again. So alright, now what we're going to do is we're actually going to look a little bit more in depth at these holes 1 through 9. And just talk about maybe some different route options real quickly. I'm not going to get any kind of specific details as far as spins and stuff like that goes, but I just want to kind of show you some different route options to be thinking about while you are practicing these holes. And speaking of practicing, according to what the game has set up right now at this very moment that I'm doing the video, these holes are only accessible on 2 tours. Tour 3, you can play the Sakura Hills holes, and Tour 10, you can play the Gokasho Bay holes. So you can play for T1 for Sakura Hills, and then Gokasho Bay Tour 10 would be T2. Now, I say that very hesitantly because last tournament on Thursday, Playdemic changed the location of the holes so that it was possible to play each hole from each of the tees. Now, are they going to do that again this week? I have no idea. This is something that they've really just started doing, and I'm not sure if it's going to be a consistent pattern or if it was just, you know, a 1 or 2 time thing. So Thursday morning when you wake up, definitely check on the community page of the Golf Clash the 19th hole, and I'm sure right there, you know, someone will have reported whether or not they have opened up these courses on some of the other tours or not. Do I think they're going to do it? Probably not. I don't really see them opening up that many courses on, you know, so many tours. But you never know. You know, it's definitely speculation. And if they do it, I think that would be cool. I think each division should have the opportunity to practice each of these holes. But it's kind of just a waiting game at this point to see what they do on Thursday. But in the meantime, you can get all the Sakura Hills on Tour 3. And if you're high enough and you can play Tour 10, you can play the Gokasho Bay holes. So that's how we go. That's all I got for y'all as far as that goes. So let's go ahead and look at these holes real quick. This is not going to be a very long video. This is just going to be kind of short, quick talks about each hole. So we got Sakura Hills hole number 1. This is for the Fuji hole number 1. This is a par 3. And pretty much for this hole right here, you know, you are just landing your shot in this zone right here, and then trying to get that shot to roll to the hole. In the last tournament, we played a shot, you know, it had some headwind to it, and it was definitely a tough hole to try to dial in. But I think at the end of the tournament, I did get the ace on it, but it was definitely a very elusive hole in the tournament all around to get the ace on. But that's definitely the way to play that hole. Usually play it with a long iron in the rookie, and then higher level divisions it was the sniper. Actually, it was a right to left wind last time because we were having to adjust into this bunker over here, which kind of made it difficult because you were having to adjust down into the bunker. So even after your wind adjustment, you had to make elevation adjustment, you know, adjustments. So it was definitely an interesting hole last time, and we'll have to wait and see what kind of a wind they give us this time to see if they make it even more interesting. I'm wondering if they're going to give us some sort of a left to right kind of side headwind to make us adjust into the left bunker this time. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So that's hole number 1. Hole number 2 here is last time we had this hole, we had a pretty nice tailwind, and we were actually able to power curl a shot in this hole where we landed up in this zone right here and actually bounced it and got it onto the green, because you go up the green and you can roll back down the green. It's definitely a pretty severe slope on this hole, if I am guessing correctly. No, this is a different hole. Okay, this is the dunking hole. Oh, this is the dunking hole. All right. So you're going to play your curl shot, play your drive. I remember this hole now. I was wrong. This is the hole where you play your shot up here. You're bouncing it in this zone right here, and either playing your shot up to this area here, or if you want to try to go a little bit farther, you can possibly get it up into this zone right here. From these locations here, you're going for the dunk shot. Or if you have like a max level thorn, you can go for the backspin shot to the hole. Yeah, I completely had this hole confused with a different hole, but this is the hole where you can go for the dunk or the backspin shot to the hole. This was a difficult hole, and because of the wind last time on the second shot, you had to make a kind of an interesting adjustment if you were trying to go for the dunk. It wasn't easy as it normally is on the lower tours, especially in the expert division, from now that I remember it. The best way to play this hole was with the thorn, and having a maxed out thorn was a huge advantage on this hole because of the extra guide that club had. You could still do it with the level 7 thorn, but the level 8 thorn was just so much easier. And it's definitely a tough hole, and a hole that getting that dunk or that backspin shot definitely made a huge difference on your scorecard. So yeah, that's this hole. All right, moving on. We got hole number 3 here, and this is a hole right here where you're going to play your drive up here to this zone, and from here you either have a chance to take a shot with like a long iron or something off this fairway into the green, or from here you can go straight to the edge of this fringe where the rough and the fringe is right there, and go with some sort of a long iron or possibly a wood like a sniper or something. You want something very high in accuracy because you would be attempting the rough bump right there. That's definitely a shot where the B52 came in handy, really came in handy on that shot. But the key is to get your drive far enough up that fairway where you were in position to be able to use the B52. And especially if you get some sort of left to right or right to left side wind for the second shot, that shot gets really easy with that rough and that rough area along the green. Now if you start getting a headwind or a tailwind, that's when you have to start adjusting back into the water and a little bit farther downhill. So then you got to start thinking about extra adjustments for elevation change and stuff like that. It's definitely a very interesting hole, and a hole where you have a really good chance to get the albatross drop, no doubt about it, with the rough bump. So, all right, hole number 4 here, and hole number 4 is a par 4, and you'll see a lot of people either take their tee shots straight over here to this zone or bounce it off this little stretch right here. You're trying to get your shot up into here. That's basically the goal here. But if you have to play your shot a little bit farther back, then you may end up a little bit farther back here for this shot. But it's definitely a pretty interesting hole to play, and it gives you a shot into the green. See if I can move myself out of here. Here we go. It gives you a shot into the green with your long iron or possibly a short iron, depending on where you can get on the fairway. Now, if we get some sort of a crazy headwind where we can't make either of those 2 shots, in which case then you will play your shot off here to the left and just try to land it over up here and roll it up into this zone right here. From there, you will most likely have some sort of a sniper shot to the hole, and it definitely makes the hole a little bit more difficult. Do I think they're going to do that? Probably not. They're probably going to give us some sort of a tailwind and give us the opportunity to, really go for that shot next to the green. But we'll have to wait and see on Monday. All right, next hole here is a par 3, hole number 5. We haven't had this hole for quite a while. I think it was like the Earth Day tournament. Same with the past hole. The Earth Day tournament was the last time we had this hole. And depending on what division you play, you may try to jump your shot from here, skip it off this little fairway area here and up to the hole. You may try to play your shot to the right side here, where you skip it off this section here and up to the hole. You may try a full backspin shot where you land a little bit closer to the green. But I think for the most part, most people are going to be playing this shot where you land it up in this area right here, with a lot of right spin, where you kind of hit it off this slope. It slopes left to right, and that slope will carry you in the direction of the hole. And I think for the most part, I think people will generally play that shot that way. unless we get some sort of a wind where you can play a shot with just like full amount of backspin, you can land it on the fringe of the green and then possibly play it that way as well. That may be another option as well if you want to play a shot with like just a total amount of backspin, where you try to run it into the hole that way. But definitely a tough hole, one that we have not seen in tournament action in quite some time. On the other hand, hole number 6, par 5, we've seen this one quite often. We just saw this one in the mountain tournament, I think was the last time we saw this hole. And this is pretty, depending on the headwind, depending on the wind that we get here for this hole, you'll most likely be bouncing your shot off the fairway here and bouncing it over to the second fairway and rolling your shot up to this area right here. If you go with like a power 5 ball and a full overpower shot, you can get yourself up into that zone right there, in which case then you'll be looking at a short iron to the hole, but more than likely you're going to be looking at a long iron to the hole. And it's definitely a tough shot to make, but definitely a very makeable albatross shot as well. To give us some sort of crazy headwind, then we will have to play our shot short up to the front edge of this fairway section and then go with a wood club towards the hole. So if you remember, there is quite a big slope up to the hole here in front of the green. So it's not flat. That is definitely a pretty decent size slope. Alright, this par 3 right here is pretty simple. Everybody's going to be playing their shot somewhere to bounce off here, right here. Try to land it just on the edge of the green and try to figure out the slope of this green. We'll see if they change it again. They changed it for the last tournament, and it was giving everybody headaches because they had it sloped where it would run away from the hole each way. So you just really had to be completely perfect and precise on your shot. But this is definitely a hole where everybody's going to be playing it pretty much the same way. You'll be playing with a long iron in lower levels, and you'll be playing it with probably your sniper in the higher levels for that extended ball guide. But I don't know. It's just whoever can figure out the spin for this shot first is definitely going to be at a huge advantage if you can figure out how to ace this one. But it will be a tough one, just like it was in the last tournament. Not a lot of people figured out that spin combination, and a lot of people got really close but didn't get the ace. I definitely remember that. Next hole here is hole number 8, par 4. Once again, very wind-dependent hole. If we have a wind that's not suitable to try to go for the big bomb shot, you will have to just play your shot up into this zone right here, and then with the wood club, play your second shot to the hole. If we do get some sort of a nice tailwind here towards the hole, then you will be able to try to play your shot to bounce it off here, or even up in this zone right here with full topspin, where you can hit, roll through, or hit and really roll up that fairway, possibly closer to the edge of the green in wedge range. So it's very wind dependent as far as what we're going to be able to do and how we're going to play this hole in the tournament. And it wouldn't surprise me if they're going to change up the winds depending on what division you're in. So you may have one division that can play the shot at the hole, and then you may have one division that just have to lay the shot up here short and then go with the sniper. But this is definitely a hole where people will spend a lot of power 5 balls if they give us a decent wind. So I really expect them to give us a good wind to make people want to use those power 5 balls and just go for the shot towards the green. So keep that in mind as different ways to play this hole if you do get it in the in-tour play. And last and final hole is hole number 9. This is the hole that we had a couple tournaments ago, and then it just disappeared halfway through the week. I like to play this shot where you're bouncing it right here with top spin and left spin, and you roll it up into this zone right here. From right here, you go with the sniper. In my opinion, you can either bounce it off of this island and towards the hole, or if you have a good enough ball and wind, you can go for the rough bump where you land it in that rough and roll it to the hole that way. If you don't want to play it to that left or the right side, you can play it to the left side, in which case you're going to land your shot in here. With top spin and left spin, you try to roll your shot up into this zone right here. Now, that may be the way to play it depending on the wind for the second shot. Because if you want to go for the rough bump, playing it to the left side can actually get you a little bit closer to the hole for that rough bump shot. So keep that in mind. You know, if you want to play that rough bump and we have a really bad wind in the tournament, that may be the best way to get yourself in position for that rough bump, is to play it actually to that left side and not that right side. If you're okay with just playing the skip shot off of the fairway and over the water, playing it to the right side is probably the way to play it. You know, I've had this hole in the past tournaments. It's been a little while, but it was definitely a very makeable shot. I definitely remember hitting that shot several times during a tournament. So that's hole number 9. There's not a whole lot else to say, and hopefully you all enjoyed this quick tournament info video and light preview of the holes. And if y'all haven't done so yet, definitely check me out on Golf Clash the 19th hole. That is my community page. And definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button and set up your notifications so that you can receive updates when I do go live. So, alright, y'all, take care. Hope you have a good week and weekend practicing for the tournament, and God bless. Later.